Sara Dady is back tonight. Hi, Sara. How are you?
I'm good, Michelle. How are you?
Good. We said a little cold. You know, we appreciated last week's weather, but it'll come back eventually, I think.
Eventually.
I think. We can check with the meteorologist in another room. We are talking about immigration fraud tonight, so we're going to start with what exactly is that?
Yeah, you know, when people say immigration fraud, they don't think about how immigrants are exploited.
Okay.
And so that's what we're going to talk about today. It's a huge problem. Our immigration system, you know, is 58 years old. It hasn't been updated. And if you think about a road that hasn't been repaved in 58 years, it's full of potholes, right?
Not even that old. They're full of potholes out here.
Exactly, you know, speaking of spring.
Yeah.
So immigrants are people who are easily taken advantage of by non-lawyers in order to file immigration papers. So that's what we're talking about today, is unauthorized practice of law and how the state of Illinois tries to protect immigrants from being taken advantage of by non-lawyers.
So this is a state thing, not a national thing.
Correct. This is a state law. It's under the consumer protection laws. Same idea. When someone goes to seek legal help, it's important that they're going to someone who's authorized to give legal help. It's a huge problem in Illinois that there are a lot of non-lawyers who say they do immigration papers and that they can help guide people through our very complicated immigration system, and they can't, and they end up filing papers for things that people are not eligible for, and really messes up their opportunity for real legal status.
Yeah, I imagine it's a big waste of money too.
It's a huge waste of money, and that's the other thing. Is under state law, non-lawyers can't charge more than $75 to fill out immigration applications under any circumstances. And there are immigration service providers who will charge thousands of dollars in violation of state law.
So the advice would be to find a immigration lawyer, yes?
Yes, and so the question is, how do you know if someone's a lawyer?
Yeah.
Right?
I don't know. I usually just talk to you when you come in, and I'm like, well, Sarah's a lawyer.
Well, I've just been telling you all along that I'm a lawyer, and you haven't asked me for proof.
Yeah.
Well, lawyers, you know, have to take a bar exam and be licensed by the state where they practice. In Illinois, we have the Illinois Attorney Registration Disciplinary Commission, which registers all lawyers. And so when you're looking for a lawyer, it's perfectly okay to say, can I see your bar card?
Okay.
And I know very few people who ever asked, but this is what a bar card looks like.
Okay, cool.
I have to register every year with the state of Illinois. You have to pay money for the registration. You have to prove that you've kept up with your continuing legal education.
Sure.
All of these requirements. I've never known any lawyer to be offended if you ask them for their bar card. We pay a lot of money for
You want to show it off.
Absolutely.
You
want to frame
pay
it.
for it, yeah.
And so that's the first thing people should ask for when they're looking at hiring an attorney. And then you can look up attorneys by name on the Illinois Attorney Registration Disciplinary Commission website, the IARDC. And if someone says they do immigration papers, they should absolutely review their rights at the Illinois Attorney General's office under consumer protection for how much they can be charged and how they can check to make sure that someone's a lawyer, and if they're not a lawyer, if they're actually registered with the Attorney General's office.
Cool. I mean, I didn't even know you had a bar card.
Yeah.
So I'm glad we learned that's a really easy way to make sure that you're working with the right people, because how unfortunate would that be, you know, to spend all that time, money, effort, and then you end up kind of like way before the starting line when you could have just started at the starting line with the right person.
And this is exactly why we have consumer protection laws, because when you go in for a service or buy a product, you want to make sure that you're getting what you pay for and that you are not paying someone who is not authorized to actually help you.
There you go. Well, thank you, Sara, for that lesson today. Coming up next, a refrigerator that promises to keep your lettuce fresh for a month, and then a new Let's Try It. We'll be right back.